that you may or may not receive. Well, it's not really a warning. It's you get a demerit, you get a point, you get one extremely late contract, you get a contract violation. One. Well, that's because you were actually late. You didn't follow Google Maps directions. A previous video I talk about, all right, if Google Maps is wrong, are you going to be extremely late? Nope. As a matter of fact, although Google Maps should be your guide, if you're heading in the wrong direction because of a bad address from a customer, don't worry about it. Now, you got to notice this, and I'm going to have to screen record some of my orders now, because no one's going to believe it. But maybe some of you have seen this. You get an order, you know you're 5 minutes away from the restaurant because you already accepted the order and you hit directions. So now you know. But you did notice, it said pickup time 20 minutes in the past, 20 minutes ago. Oh my God, how will you ever not get a contract violation? Well, you won't, because obviously it's in the past. Most likely, depending on the restaurant, if it's a fast food restaurant, they're probably going to remake the order once it hits the 30-minute mark anyway. So by the time you're there and up to the counter or waiting in line in the drive-thru, they threw it out and they're going to say, "Can you pull up to one of the to-go spots and we'll bring it out to you?" That's because they're remaking it, and they already know. I think McDonald's actually has a pitch at 20 minutes. They just recently changed from 25 or 30 minutes to back to 20 minutes now for anything, unless it's all desserts. If it's all desserts and drinks, they will not throw it out. But if it's any hot food, it's chucked to 20 minutes now. So you're 20 minutes late according to the pickup clock. You get to the restaurant. Maybe there's a wait, maybe there isn't. You get your food. Then you're on the way to the customer. Look at your delivery by time. Over the last 2 or 3 months, maybe even longer, I've noticed that the delivery by time is well in advance. More than enough time you're going to need to drop off the food. Google Maps says, go here. So you go there. Let's assume this time Google Maps is correct. There's been no erroneous junk put in by the customer that would mess with Google Maps' head, like hashtags and semicolons in this street address field or the company name in the city field, stupid stuff like that. Let's just assume that this is a well-crafted address by the customer. In other words, normal. And so you're driving, and then you see, oh my gosh, see that red traffic back up. Oh, it's going to be a while. So you get there, maybe it's still slow. Maybe it's now dissipated, and it takes Google Maps about 15 minutes to recover data and to measure the traffic flow has changed. It's not instantly dynamic over 4G LTE. Over 5G, different story. It's much more quick. It's within 60 seconds on 5G nationwide. So take that with a grain of salt, but it's kind of fast. All right, benefits of 5G, I guess. So as you're driving to the customer and you get delayed by traffic, you'll see your deliver by time is now advancing. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. It's random. It really is random, the amount of minutes that you're given extra. It's all based on the live data coming from the Google Maps traffic. Guaranteed. And it happens in almost every single order. Now, if it looks like you're only 5 minutes away from the customer, and it gave you 5 minutes to get there to the customer, in other words, that your timing will probably match, you're not going to see the time advance unless there's a traffic flow issue. And as soon as that issue is encountered, look at your drop-off time. It will advance. something to look out for, something to watch for, and also to help you not worry about getting an extreme late violation, because you won't. As long as you're moving with traffic, you're not going off on a weird detour that isn't marked on the Google Maps or that you haven't marked yourself as construction delay, lane closure, new lane closure, traffic signal out, car stalled on the road. In Google Maps, you can't yet put train delay. You can't put crossing gates malfunctioning. You cannot put flood detours, and you cannot put like a traffic control device malfunction or police directing traffic. That Google Maps doesn't have that yet, but that should soon come. If you probably already noticed in Google Maps, they now have railroad crossing markers along your route. And those come, of course, from their not so recent purchase of Waze, where railroad crossings have always been made available in Waze, but those were marked by the community. Now, the Google Maps truck, the Google car, when it drives through, takes pictures of railroad crossings and bridges. Yes, actual bridges, because sometimes bridges are out for no apparent reason. And it's nice to be able to just mark a bridge out, and it takes care of a lot of, detail work of people marking lane closure, construction, blah, 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 It could take days for that information to cross the Google Maps desk, so to speak. But if you instantly say, hey, you have a button for bridge out, it could have been a bridge collapse, whatever. And there's been no chance of an emergency team getting out there right away. Tornado touchdown. There's a lot of things in Google Maps. Oh, snow drifting. That's another one. Roadblock due to snow drifting. It's not going to be something that is going to be marked by any official signage or barricades or anything. Snow drifts are not marked like that. Unless it's so bad, we're going into a lower valley or a high mountain range. You're not going to see things like that. Those are buttons that I think should be made available generally in the regions where you would expect them. And then as time goes on, I think an other button in Google Maps would be really appreciated, to where you could actually write in, well, hey, we never thought of that. Who would expect a rock slide in Illinois? Well, you can have rock slides in Illinois. There are parts of Illinois that you can definitely have that. So that's basically this video. That's it. I hope that was helpful.